I don't know, the relationship. Maybe he was on a business.
Well, no. Tamar went live yesterday, because over the weekend she decided to expose JR, her now ex-husband, who she was just celebrating his birthday with him a few weeks ago, and bought him a diamond encrusted chain. And shortly, a couple of weeks after just celebrating his birthday recently, she found out that he used her credit card for, I think it was the St. Regis or Four Seasons Hotel in New Orleans. And he happened to have a young lady accompanying him during his hotel stay, according to Tamar.
Can y'all imagine your man?
So that's what sent Tamar off to go on the rant.
Your credit card for somebody else. Can y'all imagine that? And you get a notification that somebody's using your credit card, and it's your ex in the hotel with another woman. Y'all probably would have got in my car and rode to New Orleans.
Knowing you would have.
I would have got in my car and went to New Orleans. Tamar, you should have got when you got that notification
that your card was charged over $1,000 so he could stay at a luxury hotel in New Orleans with another woman who he claimed he was in New Orleans visiting a friend whose family member had passed away. So he was there for a funeral.
Baby.
But he decided to extend his stay to clear his head.
I know me. Because I would have been brewing. This tourist would have been brewing. I would have got in my little car. I would have told, I'll be right back. I would have drove my tail to New Orleans. Doggone sure would have.
Now, Tamar said that, their divorce was finalized a week ago. And that, however, they had still decided, even though their divorce was recently finalized, that they were going to remain friends. And that because they have, they still consider each other family. JR calls Tamar's son his son. Tamar called JR 5 kids her kids. And so, even though they're no longer together, they agreed that they would still be in each other's children's life and that they would still be very great friends. And so, Tamar was upset because she felt like, well, if you were going to New Orleans to mess around with somebody, that's your business, but you could at least done me a common courtesy and let me know what's up. Because we was just celebrating your birthday a few weeks ago. I bought you this diamond encrusted chain with your name on it. And then me and you went, then 5 kids. Yes, Bridget. Hey, boo, what's up? And we went to Turks and Caicos to celebrate your birthday. And y'all know, know they was probably hunching down there in the Turks and Caicos.
Of course, that's why she's so, we don't get emotional like that unless we hunching a man. That rant she had on social media, on YouTube and IG, that said, we just got through. How dare you and you just dissed to me and I just dissed to you and we just got through and it was good and how dare you. That's what she wanted to say.
Right, because they was just in Turks and Caicos celebrating his birthday.
Come on,
she just bought him this.
We don't act like that unless there's some hunching going on.
Right, she just bought him this huge diamond chain and then this happens. So her feelings was hurt. Even though she said that she understood that they weren't together, their relationship, they still messing around.
They still
acting like husband and wife. And Tamar said
they having relations.
Right. And Tamar
will say that.
And Tamar said the reason that she's still dealing with him is because she had hope that potentially they could reconcile. Because she said she's a wife. She said she don't know nothing else to do but be a wife. So the reason why she was still being cordial and dealing with JR because she was hopeful. She was hopeful. So, she just said, and Tamar is hurt. She said that she thought JR loved her, but she realized that he didn't. And she thought that they would eventually get back together and be able to rekindle their relationship. But, JR on social media showing out. He doing Instagram lives basically saying, y'all, that Tamar is mentally unstable and that he basically is intimating
now,
that
I don't like that when he's
weaponizing her mental health against her. I don't like that, and he's basically saying that she's delusional, that she makes up,
unstable too,
that she makes up stories in her head. But I personally feel like
so she's a psychopath.
He basically saying she's out of touch with reality. She's coming up with stories in her head and over egging situations and blowing things out of proportion. And I don't think that's cool, because y'all, I personally feel like JR is playing on Tamar top. And I do feel like he is weaponizing her mental health. I'm not gonna lie. Tamar does have some mental health, issues that she needs to address. And she has admitted that. But for him to weaponize it against her, it's really disgusting. And mental health, we take that very seriously over here. It's very delicate. And I just think it's awful. And I think that's also part of the reason why she keeps tolerating this man playing in her face. I mean, he ended up having sexual relations with one of her, enemies, Tommy Lee from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta.
So he was hunching Tommy.
He put his mouth on her private part.
Hush.
They were intimate. And then Tamar turned around and still married him. So, which was she should have never did that, because that showed that she didn't have any clear boundaries or any respect for herself. And that's why he think it's okay to play in her face.
Yeah, and using her credit card. Yes, Glorious Love. She's going to love some more still. Yes.
Yeah.
I would have got in my little car. New Orleans, about 6 hours away, y'all?
About 6, 7, maybe, if that.
I would have got there in 4.5.
Not 4.5.
I would have been punching. And I ain't even no expressway driver. But I bet you I would have got in my car and went to New Orleans. By the time him and that young lady woke up, I would have been there.
Yes.
On the door.
Bridget said JR literally looks like a walking scam. He gives me opportunist vibes. Like he's the type of person
he got some swag about him.
He does. He has swag for a white man.
He got some swag about him.
But you can tell when you see him, he's the type of person that likes a lot of attention.
Yeah.
And he's an opportunist. He's an opportunist, and he's a clout chaser.
Leaning up on the bar.
Right. And I personally believe, this is my opinion, that he married Tamar Braxton for the optics.
For the clout.
For the clout, for the way it looked. Because him being tied to Tamar brings more attention. Prior to being married to Tamar, he was never on the blogs. He was never on the Shade Room that has millions of followers. So I definitely think he's riding on Tamar's coattail. Yes, I know he's an attorney and he makes hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, but he didn't have the fame.
I never heard of him until he got with Tamar. Now he does have a billboard right down here off of Cobb Parkway, across the street from the mall.
Right. He is.
I wonder did Tamar pay for that billboard, because I had never seen one until he got with Tamar.
Him being tied to Tamar definitely gave him more exposure and probably boosted his business significantly. His firm. Like, there's no denying.